bed again. You. Okay. You ready to go downstairs? You ready to go downstairs? How gorgeous is this bedding, by the way? Okay, you ready? Shall we go down? Good morning. Let's just start by addressing the elephant in the room, which is that I sound like this. I've just had a cold basically for the last week, but let me tell you, having a cold in this heat wave is not for the weak. I mean, I actually feel completely fine today. I probably still sound not the best, but I feel completely fine, which is a good thing because guess what's happening today, everybody? Kenny's coming home. He is coming home. He's got 5 weeks at home, which is actually the longest summer he's had for a while, so just so excited for that, and thank goodness I'm feeling better. So I basically spent the whole week just doing absolutely nothing. Today's the first day that I've kind of like got up, done my hair and makeup and tried to feel a bit more normal, and I actually really do feel much better today. I managed to sleep properly last night, and thank goodness, because the timing, like I am honestly, touch wood, I'm never ill. I'm never ill. I thought I was like over ill. You know how adults never get, I mean obviously I'm an adult, I've been an adult for a long time, but you know how adults just never get ill? Like my mum and dad growing up, I feel like they were never ill. I thought I'd reach like peak adulthood, strong immune system, never ill. But it's just classic, isn't it? When I've got so much, I had so much I meant to do last week. This is why there wasn't a video last week as well. But I had so much I was meant to be doing last week in preparation, obviously, for Kenny coming home, and I'm probably going to take some time off as well, obviously, over the summer because we're going to be on holiday. So there was so much to do, and obviously I just wanted to feel my best for him coming home. But classic, managed to pick up a cold, which I do think was possibly because I was doing too much, you know, like burning the candle at both ends or whatever. So anyway, I've just been doing absolutely everything that I can to feel better. So I've been starting my day actually every day with this, which is a ginger shot. So I get fresh kind of like ginger juice just from the supermarket. And then I could make it myself actually, it's probably quite lazy, but I get it from the supermarket and then I put a shot of ginger in this and then top it up with carrot juice. And that's what I've been having on an empty stomach every morning. And also electrolytes because I think when you're ill, you're like massively dehydrated. So I've been loving having this in the morning so much that I think that's a habit that will probably stick even now that I'm feeling better. And also it's my only choice because guess what else? My coffee machine is broken again. I have to say, I'm not that impressed that my coffee machine has now broken twice in the space of about 6 months. And also what you have to do is you have to send it away and then they have it for like 6 weeks. Obviously you have no coffee machine for 6 weeks. So I think we're going to buy a new coffee machine. I think as well because it won't be too long, this is all I'm going to say because I don't know exact dates, but it won't be too long until Kenny is obviously home for good. And that man loves his coffee. So I think it's about time we had a big grown up proper coffee machine, like an espresso machine. So I've asked my sister which one to get. She said that, how do you pronounce the brand? Lamazocco? Okay, if you know about coffee, you'll know which one I mean. I think it's Lamazocco, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, can't remember. She said that's like the Ferrari of coffee machines. But it's also very, 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 very expensive. Like I think like £4,000 or £5,000. And she said for home, like just making coffee at home is probably a lot more than we need. So anyway, that's like, I don't know why I'm going into so much detail on that, but we're trying to find, actually, if you've got any recommendations for coffee machines like espresso the full deal at home that you've been really happy with, let me know because we're in the market. She also talked about a brand called Rocket. Apparently they're very good, but I don't think they're very pretty. So that's my vetoed. And then a brand called Fellow, but they're out of stock until September and we're only in May, June. So at the moment, anyway, I have no form of making coffee. No form of making coffee? Yeah, in my house. No way of making coffee. So that's why we're going fast this morning. I have to go out, get in the car, go and drive to the nearest place and get a coffee. And it's very, very necessary today because I basically got to cram a week's worth of prep for Kenny coming home into today. So he will get here this evening, I think maybe like 6 o'clock this evening. Because he's actually had to fly into Manchester because there were no flights to Heathrow. I don't know whether that's still the Middle East situation. I think they were just all full. I think they were running, but maybe they were all full. So he then has to get a car all the way from Manchester to mine, which is a good few hours. So I think he won't be here until about 6. So we have got time. We've got the whole day, but there's also just a lot to do. But they're all really like nice things. Like I want to go to Daylesford and just pick up like some of his favourite bits, just so there's like nice things in the house when he gets home. And what else do I need to do today? I don't even know, but I know that the first thing I need to do is probably why my brain is operating at like 0.5 speed. I need to go and get coffee. So I thought we'll quickly pop out, we'll grab a coffee, definitely an iced coffee today. I'll take Rue with me before it gets too hot because it's still very first thing in the morning. And then we'll come back and when my brain is working, I'll tell you what else we're doing today. But yeah, Kenny's home tonight, so you'll get to see him. I always don't know whether to film when he gets home, because I just feel like after 16 hours of flying and then like a 3-hour car journey, probably the last thing you want is a camera on you. But just so excited for him to be home. I also want to cook something later just so he's got the option. He might want to go to the pub, but he might not. He might just want dinner waiting for him. So I don't know. Thank you very much. Okay, we're back at home. I've had my coffee, I'm feeling good, and now it's time for Rue to have her breakfast. As you know, I have basically cooked for Rue for her whole life, and then a few months ago we discovered Different Dog, and I was feeding her kind of a combination of the two, so partly that and then partly the food that I cooked for her. But in the end, she prefers Different Dog. So I've now switched over to feeding her a full Different Dog diet. So I've been working with Different Dog for a little while now, and one thing you can be absolutely certain of, that if I'm working with a dog food brand, it really is one that I truly believe in, because there's nothing I love more than dogs. All of the principles that matter to me in terms of what I'm eating also really matter to me in terms of what I'm feeding Rue, and even more so to some extent because Rue doesn't really get a say in it. Like, we are solely responsible for the nutrition of our dogs, which I think is a big responsibility. And unfortunately, not all dog food is created equally, which is really sad, but a lot of what we do find on our supermarket shelves, which is also the case for us, as we know, it's not all the best for our dogs. A lot of it is really overly processed and maybe has things like filler ingredients. But the difference with Different Dog is that all of their meals are 100% human grade quality. Everything is cooked in really small batches. It's all 100% natural ingredients. It's all actually made at low temperatures in their kitchen in Shropshire. So it's not sort of mass produced and overly heated, overly processed in some huge factory somewhere. And cooking in those smaller batches at the lower temperatures not only helps to preserve the nutrients, but it also does help to preserve the flavour. So it's really good for our fussy dogs. Rue can be a bit fussy. There are never any meat derivatives or fillers, and they're 100% grain and legume free. Every single recipe is vet approved, and it's formulated by their in-house pet nutritionist, and all of the meals can also be tailored for your specific dog's weight, age, and any sensitivities that they might have. There is also so much choice, which is great for dogs that can be a little bit fussier. Like I was saying, sometimes Rue can be fussy, but I will say, and this is genuinely 100% true, there hasn't been a recipe so far from Different Dog that she won't eat, which is very rare for her, because sometimes she'll even like kind of turn her nose up at what I've cooked for her. So I thought I'd show you a couple of the ones that we've got in our freezer, including a couple from their Health Plus range. So these just have added benefits. So this one is Comforting Chicken, and she really likes this one. And this has got added slippery elm, alfalfa, and ginger to help support kind of gut health and any sensitive tummies. I honestly think at this point Rue might be getting more micronutrients than I am. And then another example that she loves, again from the Health Plus range, this is hearty beef and berries. It's got red cabbage, blackberries and turmeric to support heart health, which is obviously so important. And then a couple more of her favourites are braised beef and then also lamb hot pot. Different Dog food is nutritionally complete, so it can be fed as 100% of their diet, and they'll get absolutely everything that they need and honestly more. It comes as a really, really easy, flexible subscription. It's delivered straight to your door, and it's also frozen when it's delivered to help preserve the nutrients in the food. There's also full flexibility with the subscription, so you can pause them or adjust them at any time. And they have given me what I think is such a generous offer. So if you use the code Adkins40, you'll actually get 40% off your first order. So I'll make sure that I pop that code on screen here and also down in my description, and I will also put any of the links that you need in my description too. Okay, we're going to Daylesford just to get some bits, just to stock up the house and like get some nice treats and things for Kenny coming home. But I'm gonna go with my mum because we're also gonna get some lunch when we're there. So I've just I've just literally changed. I'm out of leggings, but I thought I'd show you because I absolutely love these trousers. They're like these white linen trousers. I wore them a lot in France actually, so maybe you've seen them, but I'll show you again. These are the best trousers. I have already worn them so much. They're from a brand called Rumoured, but I'll link them for you. I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, like I said, I can link them for you, but they're so comfortable. They're low-waisted, they're also like, you know, adjustable. I've been wearing them so much, and then I've just obviously still got my vest on from this morning, and then I'm just gonna put flip-flops on. So this is the outfit. It's so easy. Summer outfits are so easy because it's basically just a vest and something. A vest and something. Just thought I would show you these in the mirror actually before I go downstairs, just in case you couldn't see them very well, because I never have anywhere really very good to show you, but they're just the best. They're the perfect length. They've also got pockets on the side. Just think they're really cool, and obviously you could wear them high-waisted. I'm coming onto my period, which is great timing, isn't it, everybody? But yeah, anyway, just thought I'd show you. So predictably, I got the same as always, which is a mix of the 3 salads. I think today, one of them's the orchard salad, which is the one that we get every time. And then I think it's a fennel slaw and something with radishes is the other one. And then I also got a green juice. And then Mum is also predictable because she got a tart. They do a different one every season. This is like a courgette and brie tart, I think. And then it comes with 2 of the salads. So I think Mum got the fennel salad and then a pea and cracked wheat, I think they called it, and then a kombucha as well. I don't know whether this is a new collection or whether we just haven't seen it before, but they've kind of styled this up as like an outside dining setup, and it's so pretty, and look how the tablecloth even matches. I always look at this recipe book purely because I think the cover is so good. There's a new little seating area at the back of the garden centre bit of Daylesford, so we're going to sit here and have coffee and cake. And we've gone for a carrot cake and then also a hazelnut brownie. Mum and I were going to have a fight over this kind of, well, we would use it as an island in the kitchen. And then we've seen it sold anyway, but we both think it's such a nice mix of quite rustic, but then also because it has the marble top, you can actually use it. Not that marble's that practical, but it's a very nice thing, but somebody's already bought it. okay, we're home. We ended up going to 2 farm shops, including Daylesford, had lunch at Daylesford. And then Mum and I have been saying for ages that we both needed to go to a garden centre because I needed to repot, which actually Mum and I have just done, I'll show you in a sec, but I needed to repot my bay trees on the front, like at the front of my house, because they were pot bound. Mum informed me, and they were kind of suffering a little bit. So I needed to get some big pots, which we were saying we needed to go and get. And then just by chance, we actually bumped into a really lovely couple that actually watches the videos. They were called Faith, and I believe I'm so sorry if I've got this wrong or if I've forgotten because I have the worst memory, but I believe your husband was called Chris. And they watched the videos, and they were saying that they had just been to, or had recently been to, I can't remember, honestly, my memory. Maybe I'm going to blame it on being ill. But they mentioned anyway, Batsford Arboretum, and we remembered there's a garden centre there, and it's not somewhere, I think I maybe have been, I actually remember going to a party there when I was at school, so I don't know who lived there that we would have gone to a party, but otherwise I'm not sure that I've actually ever been. So we thought we'd go to the garden centre there, and it was a success. They've just come home, my Ocado order's also come, kept a couple of things out just to show you, like they might be of interest, like things that are in season, and just some like new products and like bits that Kenny loves and things, so I'll show you that now. And I also got, wait there, some new summer wellies, because I've been meaning to get these for a while because mine are wool lined, whereas these are jersey lined, so they're a little bit more breathable, I guess, for the summer. They're also this kind of mid-length, which I think will be really handy because I am always, as you'll have seen, I'm always tucking in like really bulky jeans and things like that, like long trousers into my wellies. And obviously, like the longer the welly, the more there is to tuck in. So I feel like these will be a really good kind of medium length because I've got the really short ones. And then I've also obviously got the long ones, but I wanted some this length. So these are my new summer wellies. I'm very pleased with them. But let me show you some of the food bits that I got. So these are from Ocado actually. They are organic medjool dates. I hadn't heard of this brand before, but they look delicious. So I got a couple of boxes of them. I got some cheese for Kenny, tartar sauce for Kenny, tomato ketchup. This is the M&S, only 8 ingredients tomato ketchup, which I'm hoping is better for him than Heinz, but he loves ketchup. Almond butter for me to go with my medjool dates. This I have copied from Ella because she had this when I stayed at hers a couple of weeks ago, and it's like a spray avocado oil, which I thought was really good. So I got some of that. The brand is Good Fat. Some Swiss chard because it's in season. A couple of apples, a couple of nectarines. These are also in season. A lemon for dinner, avocado. I've actually got, there was a lot more than this. I've started putting it away. I just wanted to keep a few bits out to show you. Yeah, tomatoes to make a tomato salad. Eggs from Daylesford. I also get like any animal products at all that we have in the house for Kenny. Or like fish or anything. We always only get it from Daylesford. But I just thought I'd show you these bits. Thought I'd come and show you 2 things while we're sat here. I thought we could talk about books because I finished Yester, so I'll give you my thoughts and then show you what I'm reading next. But also I want to show you a couple of bits that I have got for Kenny because it was his 33rd birthday in May, so at the beginning of May, and obviously we weren't together. 33, he's an old man. I mean, he's older than me, so I've been calling him an old man since we met. And like, how old was he when we met? 27? But anyway, because I missed his birthday, I've actually missed so much. This is the longest we've ever been apart because obviously the whole Middle East thing happened and all my flights were cancelled. And then there just wasn't really like another opportunity for me to go. So I really haven't seen him for so long. I'm just so excited for him to be home. It's only a few hours now, last few hours. But I've got him a couple of bits. The main thing we're going to do, he wants some new sunglasses and I really want to treat him to some really, really nice ones. But I just wanted to get a couple of bits for him to obviously come home to. Not that he cares, like Kenny is not really like a present kind of person. I think he actually kind of hates getting presents. He's like one of those people that doesn't like surprises, doesn't like presents. But I've got him bits that he wanted or asked for. I won't unwrap this because it's not very exciting anyway. I just got him a new fragrance. It's a very, very nice fragrance, I will say. Again, it's a big treat, but that's what birthdays are for. They're for like things that you wouldn't necessarily justify for yourself. And also I went shopping for this with Ella and we smelled, I can't even tell you, I think we spent about an hour and a half smelling like men's fragrances in Harrods, in Harvey Nichols, and nothing, like just nothing between the two of us. She liked some, I liked some, but there were none that we both agreed on. And obviously when you're buying fragrance for somebody else, I feel like you need, I don't know, it just feels like you need something that everybody's going to love. Turns out Bottega fragrances, I mean, I'm not surprised, but they are beautiful. They are so, so nice. And I think there was only one that they recommended for men. They're more so, like more sort of feminine fragrances, I guess, but there was one that they recommended for men, and Ella and I both smelt it and immediately both loved it. So I thought, oh, we'll treat him. So that's what this is. I'll leave it in its packaging, but it also comes, I mean, so unnecessary, but it comes with like a little solid marble kind of like thing to put the bottle on, and it's a beautiful bottle. And then the other thing I got him, surprise, surprise, I am the world's biggest fan of Solomon's, and he doesn't have a pair. And we're also going to the Dolomites this summer, which is where we got engaged, but when we got engaged it was the winter, whereas now we're going in the summer. And basically what you do is hike. In the summer you hike, you see all the like, I mean, it's so, so beautiful. You have to go and see all of the beautiful views, all of the like stunning lakes. I mean, I would love to take you. I'm not going to promise anything yet because I haven't quite decided how much of the summer I'm going to film, just because obviously this is like such precious time that I get with Kenny. So yeah, I want to make sure that I'm like really, really with him and really in the moment, but I will definitely bring you along. So yeah, actually, yes, I will film in the Dolomites. Anyway, the point being, I thought he could use some really good hiking shoes, so I got him some of these. They're also waterproof, Gore-Tex, and just basically the best shoe ever and the only shoe I ever wear. I'm actually quite jealous of this colour. I think it's a really cool colour. Don't these look quite small though? I really hope I didn't get them. No, that is his size. Okay, well, hopefully they fit him. I can link these for you if they're still in stock, because I actually had to wait ages for these to come back in stock in this colour, so I don't know whether they will be, but I will link them anyway, just in case. Anyway, on to books. I have now finished Yester, which is what I was reading, I think, when we last talked. Everybody I know seems to be reading this at the moment, and I'm really sorry to say I didn't love this. I really didn't love this. I think I gave it a 3, but honestly I would consider downgrading that to a 2, which means it's not like awful. I just probably, with hindsight, wouldn't have bothered reading it. I just feel like there's so many incredible books that I could have read. I did find it entertaining. It was entertaining, but I just think so many things about it. One thing I really don't love is when there's like lots of things in a book that are just said or written for kind of like the shock value, or like, I don't even know how to say this, but it's almost like the social media impact. I don't know, I can see the impact that social media has had on the writing in that book, which I just, something about that I just don't love. There's a lot of swearing in the book, which I just think really cheapens the writing. I have no issue with swearing, like everyone swears, but I think you normally swear when you haven't had time to consider like a better choice of words, really. So when it's writing, it just feels really lazy to me. And I always think it really cheapens a book. And there's a lot of swearing. There's a lot of being like really unnecessarily explicit about things like sexual things and just other things. And it just feels clumsy and like really cheapens the writing for me. That might be a personal preference thing, but it's almost as if it's like, there's no such word as the social media ification. That's just definitely not a word, but you know what I'm trying to say. It feels like it was written with social media in mind, or influenced by social media, influenced by like shock culture, and I also felt like the plot could have been so much better. It also felt like basically just an attack on pretty specific people that I could almost name on social media. I mean, this has been referred to so many times online that I feel like I can just openly say is very clearly influenced by things like Ballerina Farm. And, you know, I don't know enough about Ballerina Farm to know, to make a judgment call on, them whatsoever. But I also just feel like it was so obvious, and it maybe not just them, maybe also people like Nara Smith, which you may love them, you may hate them, but it just all felt like one big dig at families like those families, and then they've just kind of weaved in their themes from like really awful cases in the US that we all know about with like social media and having children on social media. I don't know, it just wasn't for me. It wasn't like a good piece of literature, in my opinion. And I know so many people have loved this book, so I hate saying anything that's not positive, but I also wouldn't want to sit here and recommend that you read it, because I sort of wish I hadn't, because I just think there's so many incredible books that I could have read and used that time reading. My camera just died, but actually I needed to get books off my bookshelf anyway, because I wanted to show you what I'm reading next. Now, I don't think I've talked to you about these books, but if I have, just skip ahead, because I maybe have, and I might be repeating myself. I actually started this book in France. So this is Giovanni's Room by James Baldwin, so I heard about this book when I was reading Swimming in the Dark, which is one of my, it was immediately one of my favourite books I've ever read. They referenced this book. So I believe it's like gay literature, and it was like one of the first, and in Swimming in the Dark anyway, they were saying that this book, whether that was accurate or not, I'm not sure, because it was another fiction book, but in that book they were saying it was like banned in certain bookshops and all of that sort of thing, because I do believe it was one of the first of its kind. It actually has been referenced in a couple of books that I've read, so I knew, and it's obviously a classic as well. So David, a young American in 1950s Paris, is waiting for his fiancée to return from vacation in Spain. But when he meets Giovanni, a handsome Italian barman, the two men are drawn into an intense affair. After 3 months, David's fiancée returns, and denying who he is, he rejects Giovanni for a safe future as a married man. It is a decision that will bring tragedy. Oh, I'm so excited to read this. I've only read a little bit. I just read a little bit when I was in France, and we're actually going back to the south of France, and because it's set in Paris, I just feel like it's nice to read it while we're in the south of France. So really, really looking forward to reading this. And then the other book that I'm about to start is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Not sure this book. Anyway, I'm sure you might have heard of this, because I think this is another one that was like really, really popular a couple of years ago. So it says, this is a letter from a son to a mother who cannot read. Written when the speaker, Little Dog, is in his late 20s, the letter unearths a family history that began before he was born. It tells of Vietnam, of the lasting impact of war, and of his family's struggle to forge a new future. And it serves as a doorway into parts of Little Dog's life his mother has never known, episodes of bewilderment, fear and passion, all while moving closer to an unforgettable revelation. Now that I've read that out loud, I feel like I have read that to you before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. But yeah, everybody raves about this book, so I'm very excited to read this. And of course, when we next catch up, I'll let you know what I've thought of both of the books. I've got quite a long to be read list, so I better get some good reading done this summer. But I just thought I'd give you this week's book update. This house is so gorgeous. Okay, I'm expecting that Kenny is probably going to be really hungry when he gets home. Also, I feel like we haven't left this kitchen today, so I'm sorry about that. But I think he'll probably be really hungry because he's just had a 3-hour car journey. I mean, he will have eaten everything, unless he slept the whole flight though. I don't know, because he did board the flight at 2 a.m. after a game, so maybe he slept. But anyway, that boy's always hungry. So I thought I would make something, and I'm going to make like a really gorgeous, fresh, light kind of courgette, like lemony courgette pasta. And then I'm gonna grill some chicken to put on the side, and Kenny can have some of this cheese with it too. But yeah, it's super easy, super quick. And I think it will be nice even if it's cold. So if he doesn't sort of get here when I expect him to, it doesn't matter too much. Kenny's actually home now. So Cooking with Kenny is officially back. We're making what I said we were making, which is like a courgette pasta
grilled or sauteed chicken, but obviously Kenny being Kenny, he's added in about 12 side plates as well. So I'll get Kenny to show you, or tell us anyway, everything that he's doing. So hopefully we can kind of follow his recipe. Do you want some herbs? My contribution to dinner, and it turns out Kenny's basically doing everything else. I would have used basil, but I didn't have any, so we went with parsley.
Looks really good.
Nice. Okay, dinner's done. We've got the lemon courgette pasta. This is not grilled, like sauteed chicken. And then Kenny kind of made like an oniony, what did you call it? Pan sauce.
Pan sauce. But I think it is called grilled chicken, to be honest. I'm not actually sure.
Well, it's not been grilled, I don't know. And then Kenny's made some carrots. He's just grating the Daylesford cheese that I got him onto the carrots. And then this is my tomato salad. And then obviously Kenny's got his own courgette pasta that he is covering in cheese as we speak. I would probably cover it in cheese, it'd probably be really good. But anyway, that's dinner, so we're gonna go and enjoy this now before it gets cold. Not in the sun though, because it's a huge storm.